Xbox will soon bring Xbox 360 games to the PC, according to leaked documents viewed by multiple reporters. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to boldly declare that Guitar Hero Metallica will be the game to save Xbox.
Not Van Halen? Oh man, yeah, Bruce, you got an awful funny way of pronouncing X-Blades.
Where's the black magic?
We all know that one, but we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide for now. But yes, we have the rare opportunity to report a positive headline about Xbox. Also the rare opportunity to record Inside Games in the same room.
That's right, yeah.
Real banner day to day. It's not all great because it can't be all the way through, but Bruce, what are we doing here? What's the deal?
I mean, it feels like this is like continuation of a story from a few days ago, but Spanish language X account Retro Gamer originally posted the details of Xbox's forthcoming PC expansion of their backwards compatibility services, which again is just like selling old games on the Xbox, as well as a forthcoming disc to digital program on August 1st. Are people happy about that?
We'll see. Some of the details of it aren't as bad as it sounds, given, there's the context, the backdrop here of PlayStation getting rid of discs. Yeah. We all hate our all-digital future, but like I said, it's mostly good news. So yeah, these details come from a leaked document that was recently sent to developers and reviewed by the Retro Gamer account. At the time, I'm going to be honest, a lot of these details seemed a little too convenient, a little too fast-paced, and frankly, a little too good to be true. Oh, interesting. Just because we're not allowed to have good things anymore,
Since then, not only has prolific leaker Xtasis, or Xtasis, maybe?
Xtasis? I'm not sure.
Reported the same details. But now that The Verge's Jay Peters and Tom Warren are vouching for the information as well, claiming to have reviewed the same leaked document. So here's the actual news. We'll get to it, but that's just so you know what the actual leak is.
Yeah, it's been bouncing around a bit, but this seems like it's for real. We'll start with the more exciting part of the leak. Xbox 360 games on PC. Wow. Yeah, this feature should, according to this document, roll out to PCs between 2027 and 2028, so a little while to wait. And they say it'll roll out across next-gen devices.
So Project Helix?
Yeah, I think that's a shoo-in for sure.
One could interpret that as excluding PCs, but the document also refers to Xbox PCs, I guess it's Helix maybe, and handheld devices is getting Xbox 360 support. In addition to Helix, Xbox's next console. If you didn't know, that's what they're naming it for now. It's not the actual name of the next Xbox, but it's their prototype name.
Yeah, the thing, not to get into it, but it's not a bad name.
No, not at all. It's great.
But Microsoft's product naming department is going to get a hold of it and turn it to the X-Box Series Box or something. I don't know. That's right. Gosh damn. So yeah, Xbox is reportedly trying to make this process of onboarding Xbox 360 games as painless as possible for publishers and IP holders.
Sure, the document claims that Xbox manages all engineering, certification, and support efforts. You, the publisher, keep full control over rights, pricing, and brand. Your only lift is opting in and setting commercial terms.
Yeah, they're trying to make it sound nice. And even the document went on to say, this is a great opportunity for you to promote your new games and get some extra revenue. So they're leaning into it. They're trying to make it appealing. That would also imply the control over pricing and stuff like that in terms would imply that publishers are in control of whether or not their backwards compatibility games are part of Game Pass or sold a la carte. Those recent 4 Xbox games were both. They could be in Xbox or you could buy them for $10 each.
The document also lists October 2026 as the full launch for original Xbox titles on PC, so we'll likely see many more Xbox games in addition to the 4 that launched 2 weeks ago when we reported on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now for the second part, the part that's a little more contentious, the disc-to-digital program, something that people who love their discs probably hate hearing.
Oh, yeah. So something like this has been rumored for quite a while, with this being the most official confirmation we have so far. Apparently, users will be able to convert their physical discs to a digital license. Boy, none of this sounds good. By putting the physical disc into either an Xbox One or Xbox Series console.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The digital license will then be bound to that disc and that player's account. It's a quote from the document. Surprisingly, though, and here's where it's not so bad. Okay. The digital license will actually be transferable with the physical disc. So if the disc moves, so does the digital license. It'll just get paired with a new account.
If you put the disc in another console, it'll know and then pair it with that account?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? If I'm logged into my Xbox account, I put in a disc, it does the linking, and then it's like, okay, this person now has the digital rights to this game. It'll show up in my library digitally and ostensibly vanish from the last person who used the disc.
But wouldn't you just use a disc? Whatever. Anyways, so from the sounds of it, if someone else uses a physical disc that was tied to your digital license, then you'd lose the digital copy. They're still taking away rights from us because if you have a disc, you just put it in any console, you can play it. But whatever, I get it.
I mean, yeah, theoretically, this is better because if you have the disc, you use it once, you don't need the disc anymore for your own usage.
True.
But you can still give it to a friend or sell it, and then you lose the digital copy just as you would have if you lost the physical disc. I don't know. That seems like physical plus a benefit instead of physical minus. And there's another perk theoretically here. Windows Central's Jez Corden added that this disk to digital program, codenamed Positron, will also apply to Xbox Play Anywhere titles.
Okay, so if you have a disc of an Xbox game that also has a PC version, you'll get the PC version when the digital version is authenticated.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
But boy, it's very complicated and confusing.
It is, and what I'm really worried about is that there will be a complicated and confusing process that the player has to opt into. So you put it into your thing, you got to go into the settings, say, tie to my account. The big window pops up. This is only valid for 30 days. You have to log in the internet every 7 days. I hope it's not that stupid. If it truly is, I put in the disc. Now I have the digital. I give it to my friend. They put in the disc. They get the digital. Like it's all invisible,
That'd be sick,
all behind the scenes.
That'd be great. I don't know if that's the way it's going to work, but Xbox recently rolled out a similar program, freely granting the PC versions of Ubisoft games to folks that owned digital Xbox console versions of those games, which is cool. I think that's really neat.
It's cool. Yeah, it's Ubisoft though. It didn't get a lot of buzz, but it's a neat idea, and this plus all this other stuff really seems like they're putting the scaffolding in place for Helix, which is just supposed to be a PC. So they need all these services on PC to operate their ecosystem properly.
The document's timeline shows a public beta for disc to digital scheduled for July, with general availability rolling out in August, which is right now. So I would imagine somebody's using this somewhere. And since the July public beta didn't happen, it's likely the timelines have shifted. But it sounds to me this might be out to like press or like other people trying to use this.
Well, yeah, theoretically they're informing publishers, which is where this document came from. So yeah, either the timelines are off, which is maybe it was influenced by the PlayStation stuff. They were like, now's not the time to talk about discs and them going away.
That's a good point.
Or this document's fake and all of this is made up. So a couple options there.
Oh, and just in case we get too attached to only reporting good news for Xbox, hey, they just raised prices again. This time in Europe and the UK, the Series X is jumping €200. What? While UK prices are jumping £170. This is a 33% price hike in Europe and the UK. That's insane.
Fucking hell.
Like, I wish I had bought 7 Xbox consoles because then I would have doubled my investment, I guess. Like if I had bought them at release. That's crazy.
Yes, like a 6-year-old console going up in price by 33%.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, luckily, we're lucky in that regard because we're kind of set on hardware. Sucks for anyone else for the next 5 years. Shit. It was the best time to buy was 6 months ago. The second best time is now. It's only going to get worse from here. That's all the reports we've got. But I guess going back to the enjoyable news, Xbox 360 on PC. That's kind of cool.
Sure.
That was kind of something I was hoping for when they were rolling out Xbox on PC. Mm-hmm. It seemed that was another like too good to be true thing. I'm just not used to expecting cool stuff from publishers, especially without a big catch. But I guess the big catch is it's just all through Xbox's ecosystem. It's all going to be through their app, which is not great at best. Yeah. But I'm willing to do that for easy access to older games and potentially maybe just series revivals. I don't know. Anybody want to play Chrome Hounds out there? Anybody?
No. There's a few though. Also, Lawrence wrote this in the script, and this is very smart. Any game with heat will be sat on because they might remake it. You're totally right, Lawrence.
I hate that shit.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. There's a bit of a catch-22 with backwards compatibility, I've noticed. Games have to fall into this magical middle ground. If no one gives a shit about it, if it's really old and obscure, then players aren't asking for it and publishers forget that they have it. Yeah. And it's not worth them to put out any effort to bring this to market because nobody's even asking for it or remembers it. If it's really popular, then publishers are like, well, hold on. Yeah. We don't want to sell that for $10 because we might remake it for 70 or 50 or whatever. So yeah, there's a reason that Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2 are not on Xbox backwards compatibility. I think the last time you could play those is if you had the disc with an Xbox 360, and then it just shut off after that because they had Anniversary and then Master Collection. So there's always going to be this weird tug of war. I think that's why Xbox went a little overboard with promising how easy and lucrative it would be to put their games on this service, because they don't want publishers just sitting on their library thinking they might remaster it someday. So I hope that's not the case. Either way, maybe we'll get some old favorites that are easier to play. I don't know. It seems positive all around.
I mean, it's like they're throwing us a bone. Like, the positive news is fine. Whatever, like they raised the prices, which is not positive. But the backwards compatibility thing is, I want to say they're throwing a bone to the only enthusiasts, because those are the only people that really care about this. And even then, are they going to actually spend the money on it? Like, I don't actually know that. I don't know that they're like, it's like you said, Chrome Hounds, like, yeah. There's going to be 10 people out there that buy Chrome Hounds or whatever. And then, like, I'm sure all the comments in this episode will say, I'm buying Chrome Hounds. Sure you are, whatever. But they're throwing us a bone. They're like, no, guys, no, you get 360 games on your Helix. And everyone's like, yeah, yay. When in reality, we want a price lower, or, we want the Project Helix is $600. Like those are the things that will actually get you the customers. This is just for the, 10,000 enthusiasts that are watching these episodes. That you're an enthusiast, by the way, if you're watching Inside Games. And if you're excited about that, awesome. I want you to be excited. But that's not going to win them back customers after they've raised their price 100% in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yep. The only easy win I see here is for people that are already in the PC ecosystem. Oh, yeah. You bought your hardware already, and now maybe Xbox can make their environment look a lot more appealing. It's not going to peel anyone away from Steam. But, if you can tug on millennial nostalgia to get somebody to download an app, log into it, then at least you can market them, and that's all they want to do, of course. Or you can get their $10 because they buy a game that they're nostalgic for. Yeah. But now here's the thing. If Xbox is out there trying to pull I think it's pretty smart of them to leverage their technology and their game compatibility on PC. But is it going to keep anybody? Somebody might get over those humps, download the Xbox app, search for a game, buy it, and then actually install it, play it for an hour, but then they're just going to wander off back to their Steam library, probably. But still, it's a first step, and Xbox needs those, especially if they're going to try to carve out a space in PC. So that's the thing I hope this is more for, that like Xbox is still trying to migrate over to being a service provider rather than a hardware manufacturer. And I think Helix being a PC is part of that. They want to goose it in the same way that Valve gooses PC by releasing hardware. But I think they've probably given up on being... It's weird because they're going back to console compatibility. It's conflicting strategies. So yeah, there's no way in hell Clockwork Revolution is going to sell a $1,200 Xbox. No. So there's some voltage that's fighting each other in this strategy. But I'm still a beneficiary of this, so I'm happy about it.
It's also weird too because all these like old games that would have been on Game Pass. Like if Game Pass was still a thing that they were pushing, which I guess they kind of are, but they're backing away from it very slowly, then they would have just put all these on Game Pass and we all would have been like, yay! And then that way I would not have to go out and find Chrome Hounds in a store and pay $10, right? It would have been on Game Pass. So it's so weird to go backwards now and be like, they could have just put all these old games on Game Pass and be done with it. But they can't anymore because they need to make money. So now we're all having to go through the old store and try and figure out which 360 game is on the Xbox Series. Like it's all a whole thing that I don't want to say to the people that complained about Game Pass, this is what you get, but this is what you get. This is what happens now.
Yeah, I think all the Microsoft published games will be on Game Pass, even if they are in backwards compatibility.
I hope so, yeah.
That was the case with the four Xbox games, Crimson Skies and Fusion Frenzy. New perks for Game Pass subscribers. Wow. Yeah. So I expect some of them will be, some of them won't be, but you're right, though. Now it's going to get really fucking complicated. Yeah. And Xbox, Microsoft in general, is not the best at that.
Yeah, that's true.
At making... even the console flow is starting to get a little PC-like and overcomplicated. I remember when the Xbox Series launched, it was really difficult to tell if a game was a one game or a Series X game. Eventually they had these badges they had to stick on everything. And now like games have like 4 or 5 badges. Xbox Series S, Game Pass, Ubisoft Plus, like do. It's just like a military fruit salad across the bottom of a game icon. So it's reconverging back to PC levels of complication. And yeah, again, if you're going to pay $1,200 for a console, the last thing you want to do is be confused about how to access a game or what version of it you're even buying if you decide to buy it.
Yeah, this future's not looking real good. Even though this is positive news, I don't necessarily think most of this is good. So, unfortunately. Thank you very much for watching Inside Games. You caught a rare episode where we're in the same room, which is very, very rare. Mainly because I just had a child. So commemorate this good luck by recommending us to a friend if you enjoyed the show. We appreciate your support if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you just watch the episodes. Or we have a Patreon if you're supporting the Patreon. Thank you very much. There are a few people that throw a couple extra bucks our way just to allow us to make more content. And we appreciate that. We also post all of our content for free. Lawrence and Shooklin post all of our content for free on the Patreon. And Lawrence posts memes over there every single day. Oh, yeah. Which I know gives him great joy. So that's what you get on the Patreon, and it's free over there too. But there are people that are supporting the Patreon with money, and that's Brian Cosner, Kyle Heaton, Monkey Butlers, and Nick Calderon. We can't wait to play Blur with y'all. I don't remember. I think I might have played it once.
Witcher 2!
Like 10 years, 15 years ago.
We all remember Blur. We love Blur.